Hello, this is novaTopFlex, and in this demonstration, I'm actually going to do a demo of how specifically to do the Alpine Linux installer on your virtual machine. First off, QEMU-IMG create-F for format raw-O size equals 16 gigabytes, and then I'm going to name it alpine.img. You can change almost anything, but I usually do 16 gigabytes of storage on an Alpine VM, and it's going to be a disk image. And then I'm going to do the following. I'm going to do QEMU system i386, and then my 32-bit ISO, and then disk image, CD-ROM, and disk. Boot D is for CD-ROMs, and then 1 gigabyte KVM, VGA, 4 megabytes, and then Pentium 2 is my emulator CPU. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try with booting from DVD/CD first. So it might take a while to boot from DVD or CD. That is, if it is at all possible. Alpine is loaded. It took a little bit to load, but don't worry. On your system, it'll probably do the same thing. So hopefully things are going well, and at this point, you should actually be on your Alpine Linux virtual machine. It doesn't take too long to start the VM, so what's going to happen soon is I'm actually going to change it to best fit, and I want to zoom to fit as well, and I'm going to put it on full screen. So log in to root, and then you can do setup Alpine. No keyboard layout, just localhost, and then just the regular interface, no manual network configuration. This is going to be the standard setup for Alpine Linux 32-bit. And then let me do America / and then New York. Seeding the random number generator, no proxy, and then find and use fastest Alpine package keeper APK mirror, and then set up a user. Not this time. I will set up a user on a later virtual machine setup. SDA. This might be the longest part of setup because it's Alpine, and Alpine doesn't require too much in setup. And then let me actually, so to reboot, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace boot D with boot C. Now the installation is complete. Hopefully, what this means is that you've successfully completed your installation of Alpine Linux. Please be aware that Alpine may not support the full functionality of your typical Linux kernel because it uses, I believe, OpenRC instead of systemd. It also uses Musl-LibC instead of glibc, so you may not have full functionality unless you are on a virtual machine that is more advanced, really, because any Linux kernel distribution is more advanced, typically, than Alpine. This is OpenRC, and it is starting up. So I'm going to do log into root, and then here, that's going to say you can set up the system with this command. So to prove that I'm on the disk and not the CD-ROM, I'm going to do dfh. So let me actually look at where I'm running this. Now, if you really want or need to change this setup out at all, nano is not found, so they want you to do vim or v or whatnot. Does vim even work? No. Let me check traditional v. It's traditional v. So unfortunately, not all the improved vim features are implemented. So what I usually do is I do apk add nano, and then let nano do the nano/etc/apk/repositories, and then you're supposed to uncomment if you want or need to do anything that goes beyond the standards, and then just apk update and apk upgrade. It's very similar to using apt, especially apt, but not necessarily always. And if you like this type of content and would like to learn more about this, please like, share, comment, subscribe, try to hack the YouTube algorithm, and thanks for watching. Signing off.